The Supreme Court says colleges and universities, all right, can no longer take race into consideration as a specific basis for granting admission. A landmark decision overturning a long-standing precedent that has benefited Black and Latino students in higher education. That's a lie. I just want to say that. Affirmative action benefits white women more than anybody else.
Oh.
So let's just throw that out there. Now, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the opinion for the conservative majority, saying that the Harvard and the University of North Carolina admissions programs violated the Equal Protection Clause because they failed to offer measurable objectives to justify the use of race. He said the programs involved racial stereotyping and had no specific endpoint. The opinion claims that the court was not expressly overturning prior cases authorizing race-based affirmative action and suggested that how race has affected an applicant's life can still be a part of how the application is considered. So the reason why I'm saying that I'm somewhat controversial on this is for a few reasons. They basically saying, we're saying you can't get admitted just because you're Black or Latino, unless you write some kind of thing that says that there's a reason why you've had opposition in your life and it's a little bit harder for you to make it than it is for the next guy. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much every Black kid that was in urban school. You could say that.
Or Latino.
I had to get shot on my way almost going to class every day. Or Latino. So that separates the Black kids that live in the nice, prestigious suburb.
Yeah.
Versus the Black kid who lives in the urban suburb.
Like
right?
Clarence Thomas's nephew.
Yes. He would not be able to benefit at Harvard for affirmative action.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
He can do the legacy thing and get bought in like everybody else.
Do away with that too.
Yeah. So the Asian people who brought this whole case up,
the issue that they
were upset because they were saying that they wasn't able to get in good numbers because all the the Black and Latino kids in affirmative action was taking their spots. All right. What this just did, and I hope that white people understand this, because some of them seem to be kind of ridiculous when they don't understand affirmative action and how 40% the statistic is white women. But anyway, so how they don't understand, what they don't understand is this ruling, in my opinion, affects them more than it does us, because it's going to affect white girls trying to go to Harvard. We can't just bring you in because you're a white girl or you're a white woman. Affirmative action. We've got to have more girls than boys, or a certain number of girls, and all this other stuff. And then the other thing that it's going to do is it's not going to make one difference, because the majority of the ones that's in Harvard and these other schools are there because of legacy.
That's one thing they talked about on The View. They feel like that's one thing to get rid of. Is the legacy. The whole thing with that is even over the affirmative action issue. Because if you get your son or daughter gets in because you bought a wing in a library wing or something, you bought a parking lot, your son gets in. That's not fair either. So I'm thinking for affirmative action. Now I'm listening to some kids. I hear both sides. I hear students. We're old school. I'm old school. I'm a grandmother's age. So a lot of my young cousins or my friends who have young grandkids, this day and age, they're thinking differently than we are when it comes to race. A lot of them don't think of, I wonder how many Blacks they're going to let in, how many Latinos, how many people, just minorities in general. They want to get in on the merit of how much they know and their
living in a
grades. Well, here's the thing.
If you go by merit, guess who's the college? The whole college and all the universities is full of. If we just go by just scores, right? No diversity, no nothing. White people ain't going to be there either. It's going to be all Asian people Indian people from India, and people from other countries.
You test well, yeah.
If you go just strictly say no diversity, we want to just go by test scores, we don't want to do anything else, I'm telling you right now, a lot of white people going to be disappointed too. Because they're not going to be there either.
But you also have the issue, aside from what you're saying, you have to look at all the different pros and cons with this. A lot of kids, they don't want to put their race down. A lot of biracial kids, a lot of kids who have different nationalities.
But do you have to?
So you have the option to not. A lot of kids are not putting down their race. So how would you?
But how is this changing? They didn't have to do it before.
How are you knowing then that the white girls are getting in, or the people you're saying, the Indians, or if it's not so much merit, you're saying that if they do away with the whole affirmative, it's going to be hard for those kids who are biracial or whatever, not say their race. They're going to be going on their merit of how good their grades are.
No, I'm saying, I think
which will push a lot of them away.
I'm saying that every university, every college, I feel they should, especially public ones or whatever, should be diversified.
Yeah.
And you can't just go by test scores. Because if you go by test scores, like I said, white people are going to be disappointed because y'all not going to be in there either. The whole school is going to be Asian people. That's a stereotype. Let's just go and say it. It'll be Asian people, Indian
you're saying
people.
A lot of them test well over
us,
over a lot of the minority
and
kids.
Then people from other countries. It'll be Africans, people from France and Germany and all these places.
So the situation that happened,
Americans won't be in the schools. Put it that way.
So the situation that the Asian kids were experiencing. You're almost saying it needs to stay that way.
I'm saying
because otherwise they would probably be in there.
So that's what I'm saying.
Score higher.
White people who are so bent on no, get rid of diversity. No, it should be by your merit. Your kids aren't that smart.
No.
I'm sorry to break it to you. They good on Game Boy and Nintendo games. They're not that smart. If you want to go by test scores, the kids from other countries, Asian kids and Indian kids gonna outscore y'all
one of the things
every single time.
One of the examples that Sunny gave on The View, she said, this also came about from
I don't care.
That white lady who was not able to get into the university or whatever she was applying for,
and they found out
it was her grades was not high enough to even get in. The black girl had better grades than her,
and they found out that a lot of white kids who got in with worse grades than she did was because of legacy.
Because of legacy, yeah. So that to me needs to be done away.
So I don't care.
So
like
affirmative
I said,
action is like for this purpose of going to college.
Like I said, I'm saying something controversial. I don't care. Because as long as you saying in their little thing that they can still write a story and that could still push you ahead of everybody else, then I'm fine. Because my Quita gonna have a story. Yeah, I get shot at every morning before I go to school.
Or watched her mom get gunned down.
Or my brother. I'm the first one in college.
I'm taking care of.
I have my brothers and sisters I'm taking care of.
The violence will be playing on a lot of these kids in the hood.
And unless you are a dummy on the board, a name will tell you what the person is. I don't have to write down what I am. If my name is Jesus Latreres or Ferreres, obviously he's Latino.
Descent. Or a Jewish name. Or a Asian name. Chung.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an Asian
Now,
girl.
every once in a while, somebody will slip in there, like a Tom Cruise or something. And you'll be like...
One of my coworkers' last name was Funchez, and she was black.
Yeah. Every once in a while, somebody will get in there, and you'll be like, okay, your name didn't match. We thought you was Tyrone Jenkins. We thought Tyrone Jenkins was a black boy.
I actually had in my college one of the maintenance guys. His name was Leroy.
Yeah.
He was white. I said, no, Leroy ain't white.
The movie Leroy Brown was white.
Was he?
Baddest man in the whole darn town.
He was a white man.
He's bad. Leroy Brown. He's the baddest
man in the whole darn town.
The baddest
Badder
man.
than old King Kong.
Yes.
Meaner than a junkyard dog.
Yeah, he was black. I mean, he was.
So
white.
I don't know. Let's see where this goes because people are uproar on both ends.
I'm not in uproar. And then another thing, and I guess I'll continue to be controversial. Why y'all got to go to Harvard? Black kids. Why can't y'all go to HBCU?
But does affirmative action speak for how many white kids need to be at a black HBCU?
If you start going to a lot of these HBCUs, some of them is majority white.
I know.
I don't think y'all know that, do y'all?
White kids are going
and they go on minority scholarships.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
So you may want to rethink this affirmative action thing when it comes to school. I don't know. Who does it really help? And if the kids, like you're saying, they're not putting their race down, they may be biracial. Okay. They may be not wanting to be,
Keitra says, good afternoon, Chad. I'm so glad you are talking about this. Been waiting all day to hear this discussion. Daphne says, the whole school will be international. And Kiki says, hey, sisters, miss hearing you live. Yeah. So each one of those
said all the kids will be from Asia.
I don't know why. And if you're a white person, don't get offended by what I'm saying. But y'all, some of y'all got to stop thinking y'all the smartest people in the world. It would be
Asia or
your
legacy kids.
A lot of y'all kids are morons.
Well,
I'm sorry.
We don't.
A lot of us, period, in this country are morons. A lot of us in this country. A lot of us in this country are morons. Well, our kids sit in front of the computer.
What she's trying to say, no, we're not all morons.
I didn't say that. I said a lot.
A lot of people are not necessarily morons, but if you think about it, and Alyssa has brought this up on The View, we test lower and our kids test lower in schools than other countries like Japan and other schools in Asia. So yes, because the parents are not really involved in their kids' education and trying to get to that next level. You're saying that
I'm gonna repeat what I said after you finish.
Well, why you call them morons?
Okay, so a lot of these kids today are morons. They sit in front of a computer and all they do is Game Boy and Nintendo and all of this other stuff. And you know why a lot of us are on TikTok and stuff? The Chinese people have a different TikTok in their country for their kids. They give us the dumbed down version of TikTok. And then on their TikTok in their country, they don't put all that stupid stuff on their TikTok. They make their kids excel as far as in knowledge and everything. So what's going to happen is, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the room.
And you're not.
Yeah, most of us are not.
Right.
You can't even explain this. So most of us are not that intelligent. Quit putting yourself so high up on the map on intelligence. Now we are creative.
Because we're not intelligent, I'm saying we're not morons.
Well,
that's
morons.
What I'm saying. That's a harsh word.
Well, moron.
And there are kids out there, like you're saying, they're not focused so much on education where they should be. And I'm sure if they apply themselves, they would probably see that they have intelligence. They're smart. But there's nothing out there challenging them.
So if you get rid of diversity, which is really what they're saying they want to get rid of, and you just want it to be on merit only, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
But you got to get rid of the legacy program too, because that's not merit.
Right.
Because my father went to Harvard. I get to go to Harvard even though I'm a dummy.
Right.
No. Right. If you're going to get rid of it, I say watch all of it.
Legacy, that to me needs to be hit first, even before you even do this affirmative action thing. But I don't know.
Daphne said they go because it's cheap, probably HBCUs, and they got rid of testing in high schools. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you just pass kids on and just let them go on and go to school. Yeah. But if you Asian, I can see why Asian people would be mad. Because we are stereotypically the smartest people in
taking their spot. That's
and you taking my country,
another minority, because they're minorities too, right?
Technically, this should be our school. We do our Uber Eats, and it's one school that we deliver around here. It's a high school. It's a private school. All Asian.
They were all Asian girls coming to get their food. We kid you not. We would Uber over there almost Same Asian girls.
It'd be a few white girls sprinkled in and one black girl maybe with a ponytail somewhere.
Looking like a nerd.
But everybody was Asian. Or everybody's Indian. Yeah. So go ahead. White people who want to get rid of diversity. You're going to be one of the first. We just want to do it on merit. And you got your son sitting in the room all day on his Nintendo game.
Right.
And you think you're going to go against this guy who came over here probably on a boat, and that child is doing nothing but reading a book. You better not bring no video game in here.
Look.
My friend, who's my guy friend, his family came over here from Guyana. Mm-hmm. There is nothing less than you getting a degree.
Mm-hmm. They don't. And
a master's degree. Are you out of your mind?
They don't expect nothing less when it comes to education. And there are a lot of families, ethnic groups who are really pushing that their kids really excel in education.
And a lot of Indian people, you working, you'll see the kid at 7-Eleven, I'm just being stereotypical, 7-Eleven or whatever, with a book, sitting behind the counter.
In Philippines, a lot of Filipinos.
But your child is on the Game Boy in the room playing all day, which is, again, I'm going to say something controversial. College, to me, today could be overrated. What is your purpose of going to college?
You don't want to waste money.
Are you trying to go to college unless it's something to be like a doctor or a lawyer?
Specific on what you want.
Why are you going to college for communications and business? And when the billionaires, they don't even have college degrees.
Yeah.
They don't even have college degrees.
Mark Zuckerberg,
not these guys don't. They don't have college
Elon
degrees.
Musk don't have one.
No, they don't have college degrees.
Okay.
So then you see, and you had these guys, and if they did, they wasn't the smartest kid in the class.
And look who was our past president.
Oh God!
Trump didn't have no. Did he make his way through school?
Well, he was legacy.
He's like, see,
and he's a moron.
He was a commander in chief.
See, that's the other thing. You guys correct me. They corrected me for saying moron, but I called the president. I called the ex-president a moron.
Well, that's good.
I called the people more. That's my word.
But
so I use.
But that word don't fit kids who are not up to their potential in education. They're not morons. Mm-hmm. They just, maybe some people think lazy or they're not applying themselves. But a moron to me fits like Trump. Trump is a moron.
Well, some people would say
some stupid
stuff. Some people would say that's derogative to say that. Is he really a moron?
Well, you can base it off of examples with him. But if you do a blanket statement to kids whose grades are not at the level.
I didn't say that they grade.
No, I'm saying you're putting them in a category because you're saying they're not as highly educated because they're spending time on Playboy a little.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff.
And that's why I call him a moron.
That's not a moron.
Now, a kid who's applying himself and he's getting a C, he's not a moron.
Gee, okay.
No. But the one that spends all day on Nintendo and Game Boy, you're a moron. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And I'm not taking that back.
So this is going to be an ongoing conversation that they're going to have because they already made it. It's like the breaking news about this.
Kiki, let me see. Kiki says, they regulate TikTok over there. They sure do on China. Yep. We're too busy doing these stupid challenges over here. And Layla says, hey there, tell it like it is, women. How are y'all doing this evening? Hey, girl. Hey. Keitra says, I taught my kids trades hands-on. Yes. They are both gifted. That made them successful.
Thank you.
Wendy says, hey, ladies, we're going backwards. I agree. That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of parents are not applying in there. That's why the government, I get upset when the government is trying to raise the children. They're taking that from a parent. You can't do this with them. You can't do this with them. You can call us if you beat them or whatever. I'm like, isn't that a parent's job?
That's what I'm saying.
You dictate what your kids should be reading. You don't tell my son, I want my son to read this book because I want him to learn. And you can't
rely on what the school does because the school is going to keep them at a stupid level. Yeah. And if they, depending on where they are, like with DeSantis, some books they won't even be able to read them.
They won't be reading them.
So all I'm saying is, the reason why I don't mind us talking about this affirmative action. You guys, affirmative action is going to be gone all around. We already know that. Yeah. Except for in the military. They still need your black butt to go on there and fight. And they still need you to have affirmative action for sports. Anything that makes us win, they still gonna want it. They still gonna want you to mark down.
But you know
that
what?
you're a black guy from such and such.
I don't. For
playing
some
football.
reason, but for some reason, like I said, the younger kids, the younger generation,
they don't care.
They don't care about race. They don't want to put down they black, especially if they biracial.
Yeah.
Oh, am I black today?
Well, they don't even want to
get through
put
the
down,
door. Am I white today?
They don't even want to put down male or female.
Thank you.
Non-binary.
Yeah, you don't know what I am. I just want to. I want to fight in a war.
Right.
What color are you? Does it matter?
Right.
I'm blended. I'm clear skinned.
It says here, Wendy M said, "Hey, Wendy, we ain't seen you in a while. I participated in a national spelling bee back in 1990. The majority of the kids there were Italian and Asian Americans. Their parents generally expect higher performance.
They do.
We saying that." We don't want to hear it as Americans. Like I said, it's controversial. I'm saying it out loud. Go ahead and send me all the hate mail. I don't care. But people who come from other countries push their kids because they know what it's like not to come from nothing. Mm-hmm. So I fought to get here. You're not going to sit in the room all day and play Nintendo. That's just not going to happen. Right. Remember that Asian man that's the actor that became the doctor? He's a doctor.
He's a doctor and became an actor.
And he said he came home and he told his parents, "Oh, I got this, and this." And they're like, "Oh, good, Asian. You still a doctor,
right? You
can fall back on doctor.
Yeah, medical degree. You got that,
yeah.
Right?
Hollywood go away. You are still a doctor.
Oh, I tell you.
So you can come and be anything you want. They don't care. Mm-hmm. But you got to have something.
Some education.
So college is not pushed with us. And it's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with that.
Or trade school.
I'm fine with that.
There's other ways to still be educated.
Because your kid
learn a trade.
And I know y'all don't want to hear this. Mm-hmm. Your kid may not need to go to college. And when I say moron, I'm included in that. I wasn't the best in college.
I wasn't
I'm a creative person.
Student, yeah.
I'm a creative person. I don't want to sit and read a stupid book in class and then got to do a paper on it and then come back and do this and that and that and that. And I saw people leaving and becoming millionaires.
Yeah.
By being creative. If that's what you want. Now, if you want to be an engineer or a doctor or something in a field where you have to have the book knowledge.
Right.
You don't want a dumb doctor operating on you.
Right. Who did all his learning from YouTube.
And I don't want, Google. Yeah, you don't want a doctor that Googled what, open up your head and do your head brain surgery.
We Google everything now.
Yeah. So you want a heart surgeon. You want somebody who's gone through. But all of them, and I hate y'all gonna hate it, will be Asian, Indian. How many Indian doctors? I think all our doctors are Indian.
I'm sorry.
They gonna be Asian.
All of my oncologists are
Indian.
No. Okay, Asia. They're from Asia.
They Asian.
East Asia because she's Chung. My other doctor is from, I call it.
And when I say India, that's still Asia, I guess.
It's all India. It's all Asia. And my friend who's from South Korea, we would make jokes about that. I say, east side, west side of India. But they were all from Asia. All my doctors were from Asia.
And if they black.
Oh my God.
If they black, they're going to be West Indian or something. Or African.
From Africa.
If I'm wrong, put in the comment if I'm wrong.
From Nigeria.
Put in the comment if I'm wrong. If I'm way on another tantrum, please tell me I'm wrong. This does not affect black kids in this country.
My old gynecologist was a black woman. And her dad, they owned the business themselves. So I was we try to support black businesses, even with physicians, black dentists, if we can find one. I went to a black dentist years ago. He was mean.
And who cares if
I said, I can't support your business. You're not nice.
And how many of y'all, when you get when they tell you to go to the doctor, you say, did you go to Harvard? You don't care. They went to some school.
The dentist that I went to was right out of dental school. He liked to use his foot to pull my teeth out.
How many of y'all actually go, oh, did you go to Harvard when you going just to get somebody to take your blood pressure or whatever? You a doctor, right?
Or lawyers that you get, a lawyer.
Your lawyer is only as good as his record. Nobody cares that he went to Harvard.
Yeah.
They want to know, did you win? How many cases have you won? How many have you lost?
Doctors, how many malpractices? Yeah, but you got me thinking. All my doctors are from Asia. Wow.
Or if they black. They from Jamaica or somewhere or African or something. They not.
No, that's unfair because we got a lot of blacks. Like before he passed away, Johnny Cochran. What's his name? The black guy, the other black guy that's
well, you're talking about a different generation. I'm talking about this generation. See, that's why you said they don't want to put. They don't care about stuff
race.
like this.
They don't want to put race.
They don't care about stuff like this.
Because think about it, 30, 40 years from now, people won't care if he's a black doctor
so
or not.
I know this is another thing that they're trying to get black people.
They want him to be a good doctor, regardless of his color.
I noticed another ruling that we're trying to get black people all riled up about. Y'all, it's really not going to affect us.
But some blacks are riled up, like the NAACP guy.
It's not going to. Well, they always want to get riled up because they want you to give them some money. How come every time they get riled up, I get an email asking me for some money?
Well, we'll probably hear this ongoing, how this ruling is going to be helpful and hurtful either way.
Thank you.
Because people are for it, some people are against it.
Thank you.
So
my thing is, it doesn't matter. I think it matters, but it doesn't matter to the extent that everybody's getting so hyped up about it. Especially since they put the little clause in there that you can write something. And if you show that you have some kind of reason to be propelled above everybody.
To enter the school.
Every black kid in the urban area can write that same letter. They can have a template in the guidance counselor's office that says crime in my neighborhood. This. You know what?
So. It's so sad to say before we move on. My sorority and then another organization that I'm in the community, we're big on trying to give out scholarships
that nobody wants.
That's the thing, you guys. We live in an area where we purposely go to those areas where there's not a lot of funding. We gotta
beg them to fill it out.
We gotta beg.
They're not going to Harvard.
I have sorority sisters who coming out of their pocket to even bless these kids, and we specifically try to find minority, especially black kids, because we're black. So most of the kids who do apply are Hispanic.
Yeah.
So a lot of Latino kids. So I get that as well.
So it's not gonna. So go ahead.
Yeah, one white girl, didn't we?
And then I'm also like, and even I can't stand Clarence Thomas. But here's the thing.
He made some comment about he doesn't know.
I'm so tired of people saying that black people have our hands out. We always want somebody to give us a handout. We always need somebody to help us. I'm sick of hearing about it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Do away with the programs. You're going to find out that the majority of the people on welfare are white people. The majority of the people that utilize affirmative action are white women. The majority of, you see what I'm saying? So all this, you almost, in a way, you almost want them to. Because I'm tired of hearing that they think that I'm almost sounding like Louis Farrakhan in a way. I'm tired of people thinking that we need you. Black people have enough money and resources within the own community.
We do.
Why are our HBCUs those should be up at the level of Harvard.
They should.
And Princeton and all of these. So if you're a black
Howard is the black
guy. Our vice president went to Howard.
So that gives.
So if you're a black person and you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, why don't you go to Howard? Why can't you go to an HBCU?
Spelman, Morehouse.
Why you got to go to Harvard?
There's so many of them out there.
So I'm done. Yeah. I'm tired of everybody thinking that we always got to have white people bail us out. And then, yes, I do agree. When you got a group, not all of y'all, but the system with its foot on your neck, you kind of need to take your foot off my neck. That's why I agree when Obama said, I'll pull myself up by my own bootstraps, but can you give me back my straps?
That's what Martin Luther King said.
Exactly.
He needs the bootstraps to pull himself up.
So I'm not totally tone deaf like Clarence Thomas and them who think nothing is racist, that think there's no systemic racism in this country, that think that there's no racism and that all you got to do is just smile and things will be given to you because you're such a wonderful God. Tim Scott, you just stand on the corner and with your bald head and every cab driver just passes you by. But one day a real cab driver is going to show up and he's going to pick me up. Yeah. We're not dumb like that. We don't think that naive, but we're not so far on the other spectrum either to feel like we gotta have somebody help us all the time.
I know. I just know that the younger generation are kind of thinking a little different than we are as older.
They don't
Those
care.
of you guys who know kids like 16, 17, 20 years old.
They don't care.
A lot of them don't care about color per
And they
se.
ain't going to Harvard.
Can you just let me go into school on my own merit? I don't need to put down I'm black, I'm white, I'm Asian. Some of them trying to look at all the things and go, well, I'm a little of this.
I'm a little of this.
And I'm a little of this. Mom says we're part Native and I'm part Hispanic.
Or don't sometimes you think,
What
you
am
don't
I?
know if this going to help or hurt me.
Right.
If I put black.
Well, I play the black card because my
if
dad's
I put
black.
black, is that going to help me on this application?
Thank you.
Or sometimes it will. And then sometimes if I put black, it will hurt me.
It will hurt you. We
So-
got enough blacks here. We need diversity.
Yeah,
we need more white kids, more biracial kids.
But we understand because people in our own family have
Oh.
benefited from affirmative action.
Yeah.
This was when they didn't have no women
Yeah.
as engineers or whatever,
Yes.
and they had to put
They have to
our
open the
family
door.
member.
Yes, for them.
And she checked out 2 boxes, black and a woman.
Yeah.
So they was like, shoot.
That was the episode on Good Times when what's the husband's name? On Florida, James wanted Florida to come with him for that to fill out that application. He thought he had the job to work in the store,
Right.
And the boss came to the lady who was thinking that James had the job, said, "Ooh, who is this? That's his wife. Hire her."
Yeah.
And the lady was like, I practically promised James the job.
She checked out 2 boxes.
2 boxes because back then,
Right.
affirmative action was big. They called around. They made sure
Right.
that these stores and these
I agree.
organizations had minorities on that list. Make
So
sure out
we
of the
are-
20 people you got to have at least 5 minorities.
Well, I don't know if you agree with me, but like I said, I'm controversial in the sense that affirmative action isn't the same as it was back in the 60s and the 70s and 80s.
Right.
To me, right now, it's still needed, but it needs to be totally revamped.
Yeah.
Same as welfare, everything. It
Yeah.
needs to be, our government, they don't know how to run nothing, y'all. It has to be revamped. And neither the Democrats or the Republicans have the answer.
Yeah.
So if you on here and you a Democrat, I'm not in your corner. And if you in here and you're a Republican, I'm not in your corner.
Yeah.
Neither one of y'all parties have the answer. And neither one of y'all parties know how to revamp the system. All y'all talk about is either doing away with something or giving more money to something.
Yeah.
If you're a Republican, you want to do away with it. If you're a Democrat, you just want to pour more money into it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to revamp it. Just like Wendy M just said, my students are getting to be more multiracial.
Yes.
So now in 2023, it's not that cut and dry. Back in my mom's days, you was either Negro or you was white.
We was trying to get our foot in the door to even be with the white kids. So
And
it's
if
like-
you was a mixed, you was married to somebody who was mixed back then,
Yeah.
there wasn't that many of y'all.
no.
You was either a Negroid or you was white.
Colored
Caucasian.
or white. Colored fountain or white.
But now you got people walking in, their eyes look Asian. What are you?
Are you-
Well, my grandmother's Korean.
My dad
and my
is
dad's
Asian.
black.
My mom is from India.
My mom's Italian.
my father is Filipino.
And, well, my dad's black, but his grandmother was German.
Yes.
So
I'm a mix of-
my great grandmother is white,
Uh-huh.
and my great grandfather's from Africa.
So when they see the boxes on there for race, they'll go, I don't
Now,
fit any of these.
I'm
an other.
I'm Native.
I'm an other.
I'm Native American.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is our friend. I'm Native American, and my mom's Latina,
Yeah.
but I look black.
Yeah.
My father think he black, but he
Yeah.
Native American.
He's Native.
So what do I check?
Is there a other box? Oh, I just won't check anything.
I can check
because it's not
Native.
important. I don't check anything.
I can check Native, but they haven't recognized my family, so I can't really legally.
Well, no,
can I do
my
legally?
dad's tribe is recognized, so I actually can go to school for free.
Oh, so just let me
I
in.
gotta prove that my dad and my family is from that tribe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just all over the place.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So they don't want to check that. And then you got these young black. See, that's the other thing. People keep saying, well, what about the names? Shaquana, Shakisha, Shaquana.
We'll know by the name.
Another thing. I know y'all gonna hate me. How many Shaquanas and Shakishas are at Harvard?
You know what? That's just wrong. What's the name of our Supreme Court judge? I can't even say it. That's not right.
And I know I'm saying that.
Okay.
So if
her name? It's a black name.
So if you get an application, if you get an application at Harvard,
yeah,
you really think they're gonna get 150 Shaquandas?
If she writes a good story.
No, I'm trying to say I'm the admissions.
Oh okay.
And the Supreme Court said you can't put black. And I see Shaquanda Jenkins.
Or Linda Chung.
I'm just doing black right now.
I'm sorry.
I see Shaquanda Jenkins. I am not seeing a million Shaquanda Jenkins.
Okay.
I'm going to let Shaquanda Jenkins in.
You know what?
Because I want to keep diversity at my university.
But Shaquanda Jenkins, like the other young kids, are saying, don't put me in the school because I'm black. Did I do a good job? Did I get a 3? Am I a 3.0 or above?
But no, see, that's why I disagree with you. I think you should be put in because you black.
No, a lot of the kids, like the Hispanic kids, they had a mixture. The Hispanic kids was happy about it because they got in because of their heritage.
Well, I went to...
Some kids are saying, did I get a 3.0 or above? I won't be... I understand if you don't admit me.
Well, here's mine. I have a personal story.
Okay.
I went to DePaul University, which is a prestigious school.
Right.
My grades wasn't good enough. Mm-mm. So they had a program at that time called the Bridge Program.
Right.
And they reached out to kids like us that's black.
Okay.
That's how I got into DePaul University.
Affirmative action, probably.
Well, that program.
I'm sure that program, and even over that university, if they get any money funding from the government, they probably said you need a certain percentage of black.
Yep.
You need a certain percentage of Asian.
But I'm saying if I listen to you by saying my score, I wouldn't have got in.
But what if
my score wasn't good?
But what if you one of those, aside from that issue, what if you one of those kids that said that won't, I guess they'll look at your scores and say it don't matter if you black or white.
It was because I was black.
Because one of the things,
I don't care.
But one of the things Alyssa said, it's unfair if you're looking at color too, other than your situation, which was grades, will help her because they're still probably trying to fill the quota. She's saying, what about the Clarence Thomas kids who are privileged and making a lot of money? Not the legacy. They got money. They got good.
I agree.
What about the young poor guy from the hood who grades are just...
I agree. And because black people are doing better now.
Yeah.
A lot of these black kids aren't in the same category.
Right.
Like we found out, like you said, when we gave out our scholarships in our sorority, we had black kids from affluent areas. Mom, doctor, dad, lawyer, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And some people, it was like, why should we give one to her?
She graded higher when we did our rubric scoring.
See, we did grade.
She graded higher.
And you notice all the kids in the good schools all grade high.
And we had to do
and the ones that went to the urban areas didn't grade as high, but they had a lot of extra things that they did that made us go, yeah, she volunteers, she does this, she does her community service. We didn't just go by grades. She
wrote a good essay.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And I had sorority sisters who gave out of their pocket for those kids who didn't grade as well, like the Bridge Program.
See?
They didn't grade as their GPA wasn't quite high, but it was something about them.
See?
That she said, I'm giving you some money because you got something in you that I see.
In my opinion, I read the thing and said that they still can go based on their write-up.
Okay.
So I feel like if they can still admit them on their write-up, then why do we care about this?
Yeah.
This is not going to affect us.
The Asian kids should be able to write some too. Everybody, right?
It can't just be on your grades. I'm telling you, if you just go grades, the whole school will be Asian and Indian.
Yeah. And
foreign people from other countries.
This is not going to stop. This discussion will go on.
Wendy M says, and the parents are giving their kids strangely spelled, very unique names that it would be hard to tell what race or sex they are. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Pat. Well, not Pat. What they said, Pat, is it a girl or is it a guy?
No, Saturday Night Live.
That's not, you're right. That's actually not a bad idea.
Unisex,
a lot of Jewish people,
names.
A lot of Jewish people change their names.
Chris.
Because they didn't, their last name.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't want you to know they was Jewish back in the day.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so I don't know, y'all. If y'all feel like it's something that's going to really make a big deal,
right,
then let us know.
Why don't you put a survey out?
Okay, let us know in the comment section. I don't know if you agree with me. I don't feel like it's going to make that much of a deal until they get rid of the legacy thing for Harvard.
Yeah.
These Asian kids that's mad and sued and all of this, y'all still ain't getting in because morons like Trump will be there. Because his dad or whatever was there.
Or the Kennedy's
kids. All his grandson will be there. Yeah. You still ain't going to get in. Right. And because Shaquana is not there anymore, which is what, 5 of them there? How many black kids is at Harvard? Because you getting rid of Shaquana and whatever, and she can't get in over you, it's not going to put a dent in you getting in there. The dent will come if they address the legacy. Mm-hmm. That's where the dent will come in.
Open the doors for everybody.
Because if you was to pull out how many kids is at Harvard because of legacy and not because of scores, that's where your dent is going to come. So y'all went after, in my opinion, the wrong group.
But you know what? Like you said that earlier, legacy would be hard to get rid of because that's where the money is coming from.
And also, you guys are going to be the only ones in the future in college because the American kids are going to use creativity, and that's how they're going to make money. They're going to be on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all these other things, and they're going to rap and sing music and entertain and do all these things.
All social media.
Or they'll do trades. Like what's her name said, they'll send them to trades. They'll be plumbers, which is excellent. Mm-hmm. They'll be plumbers and make more money than they would going to Harvard and getting a degree that they probably won't even use. They'll make more money as a technician, as an electrician, as all of these different areas that now we're starting to see have value in them. And a degree is what?
Or more kids may, like you said, go to HBCUs.
And the Asian kids and the Indian kids will still be in college because their parents' mentality is you have to get a degree.
Yeah.
That's why you come to this country, so you get a degree.
Okay.
So that's what I think. All right, your thing.
Ooh, do we have even time?
We got time.
Ooh, okay.
Go ahead.
Because we talked a long time about this.
I know, but
that's the breaking news.
Time.
Quickly, I didn't want to talk about what the Views said. I just gave out points on what the Views did say about the whole affirmative action thing. But I wanted to bring up what they did talk about in regards to Idris. Everybody at one time was at an uproar with him possibly becoming the new James Bond. And
hold on. Wendy M, healthcare, yes. Nurses, RNs, LPNs, and the service sector, yes. That's where the jobs are. I agree. AI, huge. Not these college communications and business. No, it'll be AI. It'll be computers. All of that.
Whatever it is, they need to find their niche, and they need to not waste money. I wasted money at the first year because I went for socializing.
I wasted money at DePaul.
Hey, I met some friends.
Thank you.
I'm away from home.
Thank you.
That's wasted.